To conclude, we have our final presentation regarding building structures for intercultural integration in Cyprus. We have with us Mrs. Doris Christodoulou, EU Project Manager, Research Department of Global Education and Humanitarian Affairs, Citizens in Power, and we have Mr. Michael Beys, Administrative Officer in the Civil Registry and Migration Department of the Ministry of Interior. Thank you.
Good evening from our side. My name is Michael Beys, and I am Administrative Officer within the Civil Registry and Migration Department of the Ministry of Interior. Let me start by thanking the organizers for giving us the opportunity to present our project today, and of course, thank you all of you that are here today, especially so late in this afternoon. Today, I'm here with my colleague, Doris.
Hello, my name is Doris. We are here to present the Building Structures for Intercultural Integration in Cyprus project that contributes to a long-term plan to support municipalities and communities in Cyprus in the context of their integration policies. So,
the project is co-funded by the European Commission's Directorate General for Structural Reform Support, known as DG Reform, and implemented by the Intercultural Cities Programme of the Council of Europe, of course, in partnership here in Cyprus with the Civil Registry and Migration Department. It started in June 2021. It builds on the knowledge and the experience gained by the Intercultural Council of Limassol, which was established in 2017. It uses intercultural cities conceptual, analytical, and policy-making tools, all of them basically developed by the Council of Europe, in order to address the challenges of migrant integration, in particularly related to building trust, fostering community, cohesion, and managing diversity as a resource. Through the creation of 5 regional intercultural networks, the project contributes to the integration of migrants, all legally residing migrants on the island, including refugees, in a wide range of areas, including participation, education, cultural and social life, urban planning, business access to the labor market, anti-discrimination, and multilingualism. And of course, the participation in the project gives the opportunity to Cyprus districts and municipalities to be part of a wide network of intercultural cities of 161 participating cities in Europe and beyond, all over the world. Doris.
So to help local authorities achieve intercultural integration, one organization or one individual was assigned in each district to be the regional coordinator. CIP was selected by the Council of Europe to be the regional coordinator for Larnaca. As an NGO, we bring expertise from a wide range of projects with social innovation as our main goal. CODEGA was appointed to coordinate the project's activities in the district of Nicosia. CARDET oversees the project's progress in Amohostos. Mr. Nicolas Vrioni is the regional coordinator for the district of Limassol. And finally, the Cross Culture International Foundation is the regional coordinator for Paphos. The 5 regional coordinators are in close communication with Mr. Nenad Bogdanovic, who is the project's coordinator as a whole.
So, the main question of the project is why is there a need to introduce intercultural policies specifically, and what are the benefits of doing so, especially at the local level? Let me start by explaining what intercultural approach is and the basic elements of it. First of all, it is real equality by preventing discrimination and xenophobia. Secondly, a positive approach of diversity as a resource and the understanding that all cultures change as they encounter each other in the public area. Meaningful interaction between these diverse individuals and groups through public policies that promote trust, create connections, and give multiple occasions for encounters, exchange, and dialogue. Basically, interculturalism is about interaction and contact of the two communities. And of course, together with active citizenship and participation, to ensure that no one is left aside. Furthermore, intercultural integration, as seen here in Cyprus, refers to a multidimensional, multi-stakeholders bottom-up approach. With the support and contribution of the regional networks, the national integration policy shall be prepared and drafted together with all integration stakeholders, especially those that are active at a local level. And lastly, we should never forget that integration is a two-way process. Intercultural policies support the conduct of all communities, the development of structures for migrant integration in the local society, and facilitate the way migrants familiarize them with and respect facilitate the way migrants familiarize with and respect the local culture. But this goes also vice versa, how the local society familiarizes with and respects the migrants and their culture. And it is also important to remember that intercultural policies, our intercultural approach, should apply horizontally to all national policies, whether they concern education, housing, health support, social support, no matter the area. And our presence here today, in a forum of the local authorities, is the best example how intercultural integration affects all areas of life and at all levels, national and local. After all, the new law on municipalities, the new reform, states that the responsibility of the municipalities in the field of social welfare and social cohesion include the planning and implementation or participation in programs and action for the integration of migrants and refugees in the social, economic, and cultural life of the local community. And this is important because it is the first time that any law of the Republic of Cyprus explicitly refers to the integration of migrants and refugees. It is in the context of this leap forward that this project strives to empower local authorities to have more autonomy in their integration policies.
So now let us walk you through this attempt to introduce intercultural policies in each of the districts. The first step upon assuming the role of regional coordination was to start with a detailed mapping of stakeholders. What's important here is that we did not limit our search to be directly related to integration, but we tried to adopt an interdisciplinary approach and engage stakeholders from different fields, gather different perspectives, and offer a holistic approach to integration. We then contacted these stakeholders to find out more about the current policies and practices in each district and figure out the gaps and best practices in regards to integration. The analysis of our findings was presented in extensive reports, one for each district, and a key highlight is that in many cases, local authorities are willing to improve their integration policies, and it's a matter of building the structures to support them in doing so. And this is why we organized network meetings with the stakeholders that acted as informative sessions and consultation meetings to develop one intercultural action plan per district and ensure that intercultural policies are sustainable. Now a bit more about the synergies that we've managed to develop. Our multi-stakeholder networks include stakeholders from different governmental levels. For instance, we've managed to maintain a very good communication with many municipalities across Cyprus. We are in contact with stakeholders from different sectors. For instance, in the sector of education, we work with several schools and teachers that provide us with input on intercultural education. We work with museums and artists who assist us in making the cultural sector more intercultural. The civil society, very significant in bringing us in direct communication with locals and migrants. And this leads me to the next broad category, which is stakeholders of different nationalities. We've reached out to local restaurants and shops owned by migrants, migrant-led associations, and this is very important because it really gave us a better overview of the gaps and the practices in each district. And as a final note, having this variety of stakeholders joining our networks is important to effectively achieve one of the main goals of this project, which is to bring different governmental bodies, experts from different sectors, and different people of different nationalities together to strengthen cooperation for effective integration.
So the regional networks are the first pillar of what we're trying to develop as the integration structure in Cyprus. The second pillar is what we call a multi-level national coordinator mechanism. The theoretical background, the idea behind it, is the idea of network governance by Pennington, with regional and local governments having genuine discretion and autonomy within their competencies. Our aim is to build this new national coordinating mechanism, which we see necessary. It can take the form of an independent commissioner on the intercultural integration of migrants, or the form of a new directorate of intercultural integration within the Deputy Ministry of Migration, Asylum and Integration. And it is necessary to bring together not only the stakeholders at the local level with the regional headquarters, but also all relevant national authorities. And there are a lot. There is the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Labour, the Ministries of Health, the Education, the new Deputy Ministries of Culture and Social Welfare. And there are also trade unions at the national level, and of course employers associations, the academia, all stakeholders. And this is the main, next slide. And these are the two pillars. And to be honest, currently, we are satisfied with the progress that we have done, and we believe that integration through an intercultural lens has a great potential. That is why, in an attempt to ensure sustainability, and of course, again, with the support of the DG Reform and the Council of Europe, the project received further support to proceed with the implementation of the action plans, the local intercultural strategies, in the next 2 years. And of course, our end goal is to have this structure fully implemented and to achieve what we mentioned as this multi-level, multi-stakeholder, bottom-up approach. Thank you for your attendance.